Hi, Mrs. Young here, and today we're going to talk a little bit about light and its role in photosynthesis. So what do you know about light? Take a moment to think about that question. Pause the video if you need to, and just think about everything you know about light. Some important things to know, if you don't already, is that light is a form of energy. It travels in waves, and there are certain light waves that humans can see. That's called the visible spectrum. So we can see the reds, orange, yellow, green, blue, and violet. There's also other wavelengths like infrared and violet, ultraviolet, but we as humans can't see those. If you were to mix all the colors in the visible spectrum, then you would have white light. So how does light apply to photosynthesis? Well, let's find out. First of all, there are two kinds of organisms in the world, those that make their own food and those that don't. Autotrophs are organisms that make their own food. These are your plants, grasses, trees. Then there's heterotrophs. These are organisms that cannot make their own food and must get their energy from eating autotrophs. Autotrophs, on the other hand, they get their energy directly from the sun. So examples of heterotrophs are humans, animals, fungi. So I'm going to take a moment here, and we're going to switch to how photosynthesis actually works. So here we have some factories. We are going to look at these factories as taking place inside a chloroplast. So imagine that this whole scene is inside a chloroplast because we know that that is where photosynthesis takes place in a plant cell. So first we have to start with some H2O, water. That water is going to go into our first factory, and it's going to get broken apart into hydrogens and oxygens. In order to do that, we need some source of energy. So that's where our sun comes in. The sun is going to provide light energy to break up those hydrogens and oxygens. When we're doing that, we really want those hydrogens. That's the focus. We want to ship those hydrogens over to the second factory. So we're just going to put them on the conveyor belt and move them all over. Now we have extra oxygens in that first factory that we need to get rid of. So the plant is just going to release that as O2, oxygen gas. So we have our hydrogens, but now we need some carbons and some oxygens because our ultimate goal, of course, is to make glucose. So the plant is going to take in carbon dioxide, or CO2. That carbon dioxide, like the water, is going to get broken apart too. So you'll have your C's and your O's separate. If you look at that second factory, now you have all the building blocks that you need for glucose. You have carbons, hydrogens, and oxygens. So now the plant can go ahead and make its glucose, C6H12O6. Can put it on the little truck, and we can ship it out for the rest of the cell to use. So if we were to write this as a chemical formula or chemical equation, we would have H2O plus carbon dioxide, CO2, plus light energy yields or makes glucose, C6H12O6, and oxygen gas, O2. On the left side of the equation, that water, the carbon dioxide, and the light energy, we call those the reactants. On the right side of the equation, we call those the products. And that is photosynthesis. I hope you find that helpful, and thank you so much for watching.